The incident began innocently enough on a bright afternoon in the bustling studio of the Kelly Clarkson Show, where the audience buzzed with anticipation for Gwen Stefani's appearance. Gwen, dressed in her signature edgy yet glamorous style with platinum blonde hair cascading in waves and a bold leather jacket over a sparkling top, stepped onto the set to promote her latest music project and perhaps touch on her personal life updates. Kelly Clarkson, ever the warm and effusive host, greeted her with a big hug and that signature wide smile, immediately diving into compliments about Gwen's enduring career from No Doubt days to her solo successes and her time as a coach on The Voice. The conversation flowed smoothly at first, with light-hearted banter about their shared experiences in the music industry, motherhood challenges, and even some nostalgic stories from their overlapping time on the reality singing competition. Kelly praised Gwen's unique fashion sense and vocal style, while Gwen reciprocated by admiring Kelly's raw emotional power in her performances and her ability to connect deeply with fans. However, subtle tensions simmered beneath the surface, as both women had navigated public relationships, career highs and lows, and the occasional indirect shade thrown in past interviews regarding their voice tenures and personal choices. As the interview progressed, Kelly steered the topic toward Gwen's evolving family dynamics, particularly her marriage to Blake Shelton and how it intertwined with her professional life, a subject Gwen had been protective about in recent years. The audience leaned in, sensing the shift from casual chat to something more personal, unaware that this pivot would ignite the spark that turned a standard celebrity sit-down into an unforgettable on-air clash. Kelly's questions grew more pointed, probing into rumors about creative differences during their voice coaching eras and how Gwen felt about certain decisions Blake had made in his own career that indirectly affected their household. Gwen maintained composure initially, offering diplomatic responses laced with her trademark wit, but the tone gradually sharpened as Kelly pressed further, perhaps unintentionally crossing into territory that felt too invasive or judgmental to the guest. The exchange escalated when Kelly referenced an old comment Gwen had made years ago about competitive dynamics on the show, twisting it slightly to suggest lingering resentment, which Gwen perceived as an unfair characterization. Defending herself passionately, Gwen countered by highlighting Kelly's own outspoken moments in the past, leading to a back-and-forth that grew louder and more intense, with both voices overlapping in heated defense of their respective legacies. The studio lights seemed to amplify the discomfort as the audience shifted uneasily in their seats, murmurs rippling through the crowd while crew members exchanged worried glances offstage. What started as playful teasing morphed into a genuine dispute over authenticity, vulnerability in the public eye, and the pressures of fame on personal relationships, with neither woman willing to fully back down. As the argument peaked, Gwen's frustration boiled over. She abruptly stood up, microphone still in hand, declaring that she wouldn't continue the conversation under what she felt were accusatory terms. In a dramatic flourish, she turned and strode toward the exit, leaving Kelly momentarily stunned at the desk. The live audience gasping in collective shock as the cameras captured every second of the unprecedented walk-off that sent shockwaves across social media within minutes. The walk-off moment itself unfolded in slow-motion intensity that television viewers would dissect for weeks, as Gwen's heels clicked sharply against the polished studio floor while she moved away from the couch. Kelly, caught off guard but quick to recover her professional poise, called after her with a mix of concern and defensiveness, saying something along the lines of trying to keep things real and honest in the spirit of open dialogue. Gwen paused briefly at the edge of the set, turning back just long enough to deliver a parting shot about respecting boundaries and not allowing conversations to devolve into interrogations disguised as interviews, her voice steady but edged with emotion. The audience erupted into a chaotic blend of applause, gasps, and whispers, some cheering Gwen's boldness while others appeared stunned by the sudden rupture in what had seemed like a friendly reunion. Backstage crew scrambled to manage the fallout, with producers signaling frantically to cut to commercial as the broadcast abruptly transitioned to a pre-recorded segment. In the immediate aftermath, social media exploded with clips of the incident circulating rapidly. Hashtags like #GwenWalksOff and #KellyGwenDrama trending worldwide as fans took sides in the debate. Supporters of Gwen praised her for standing up for herself against what they saw as overstepping by the host, arguing that celebrities deserve privacy even on talk shows. Kelly's defenders countered that her style of probing questions stemmed from genuine curiosity and a desire for authentic moments, the very thing that made her show popular. Tabloids and entertainment outlets rushed to publish breakdowns, with some speculating that unresolved tensions from their Voice days, where both had been high-profile coaches with strong personalities, had finally surfaced publicly. Others pointed to recent interviews where Gwen had expressed admiration mixed with subtle envy for Kelly's multifaceted success, suggesting jealousy might have played a role in the sensitivity. Meanwhile, inside the studio, attempts were made to de-escalate. Kelly reportedly addressed the audience after the cameras stopped, apologizing for any discomfort while maintaining that her intent was never to antagonize. Gwen, escorted to her dressing room, was said to have been visibly upset but composed, refusing immediate comment as her team worked to manage the narrative. The episode's producers faced a dilemma, whether to air the full segment unedited or edit it heavily to soften the confrontation, ultimately deciding on a version that included the walk-off but with added context from pre-taped promos to frame it as a passionate exchange rather than outright hostility. Within hours, statements began trickling out from representatives, with Gwen's camp emphasizing her commitment to positive promotion and discomfort with certain lines of questioning, while Kelly's side highlighted the show's tradition of candid conversations and expressed hope for future reconciliation. In the days following the explosive incident, the entertainment world dissected every angle of the heated dispute, turning what might have been a minor talk show glitch into a full-blown cultural moment. Analysts on morning shows replayed the clip endlessly, zooming in on facial expressions, body language, and the precise wording that triggered the escalation. Gwen's walk-off was compared to other famous celebrity exits from talk shows, like historical moments involving divas storming off sets in the past, positioning this one as particularly shocking given the usually warm rapport between the two singers. Fans flooded comment sections with theories. Some believed Kelly had deliberately baited Gwen over lingering voice-related rivalries, especially since both had coached against each other and occasionally traded playful jabs in the media. Others argued Gwen overreacted to innocent curiosity, pointing out that Kelly often shared her own vulnerabilities openly. Behind-the-scenes reports emerged suggesting the tension had built privately before the taping, with scheduling conflicts and differing expectations about the interview's tone contributing to the unease. Gwen, known for her independent streak and protective nature regarding her blended family life with Blake Shelton and his children, likely felt the questions veered too close to personal judgments. Kelly, celebrated for her emotional transparency and no-holds-barred approach, might have seen the probing as a way to deepen the conversation, not realizing how it could be perceived as confrontational. As the viral clips amassed millions of views, merchandise memes appeared online joking about walking off like Gwen becoming a new slang for ending uncomfortable situations decisively. Celebrity peers weighed in subtly on social platforms, with some offering support to both women while urging understanding in an industry that thrives on public personas. The incident sparked broader discussions about boundaries in celebrity interviews, the ethics of live television drama, and how female artists in particular face scrutiny over their emotions and assertiveness. Publicists for both stars worked overtime to spin the narrative positively, with Gwen releasing a statement via her social channels expressing gratitude for her fans' support and reaffirming her excitement about her current projects without directly addressing the clash. Kelly, during her next episode's monologue, acknowledged the moment lightheartedly, saying talk shows sometimes capture real human moments, good and bad, and that she respected Gwen's passion immensely. Despite the public cooling, insiders hinted at private conversations between the two, suggesting the drama might ultimately strengthen their mutual respect rather than fracture it permanently. Reflecting on the deeper implications, the walk-off highlighted the precarious balance celebrities maintain between authenticity and self-protection in an era of constant scrutiny. Gwen Stefani, who rose to fame with No Doubt's ska-punk rebellion and evolved into a multifaceted pop icon, has always projected strength and individuality, rarely shying away from standing her ground when she feels misrepresented. Her decision to leave the set was not just a reaction to one question but perhaps an accumulation of years navigating media narratives about her relationships, career choices, and even her coaching stint on The Voice, where dynamics with other personalities sometimes spilled into public view. Kelly Clarkson, the original American Idol winner turned empathetic powerhouse host, built her brand on relatability and raw honesty, often turning interviews into therapeutic exchanges that resonate deeply with viewers. Yet this approach can occasionally clash with guests who prefer more controlled boundaries, leading to moments like this where good intentions collide with differing comfort levels. The dispute reignited interest in their shared history, from friendly on-set camaraderie during The Voice seasons to occasional indirect comments in interviews that fans interpreted as shade. For instance, Gwen had once spoken admiringly yet enviously of Kelly's ability to juggle music creation with personal life demands, a sentiment that surfaced again in discussions post-incident. Viewers began revisiting old clips of their joint appearances, noting the chemistry but also the competitive undercurrents inherent in reality TV formats. The event also prompted reflection on how talk shows evolve. Kelly's program thrives on spontaneity, but live moments carry risks of unpredictability. In the wake, ratings for subsequent episodes spiked as curious audiences tuned in to see if any follow-up mentions occurred, turning the controversy into unintentional promotion. Mental health advocates chimed in, praising Gwen for modeling the importance of removing oneself from uncomfortable situations rather than forcing politeness at personal cost. Meanwhile, entertainment journalists speculated on potential reconciliation, perhaps through a joint statement or future collaborative appearance that could redeem the narrative. Ultimately, the incident served as a reminder that even beloved figures are human, capable of friction when passions flare, and that public platforms amplify private tensions in ways that can surprise everyone. As the dust settled weeks later, the long-term effects of the heated dispute began to crystallize in both women's careers and public images. Gwen Stefani channeled the energy into her creative output, reportedly accelerating work on new music that reflected themes of empowerment and self-assertion, with lyrics fans quickly linked to standing up for oneself amid scrutiny. Her social media engagement surged, with supporters rallying around her authenticity and courage, boosting streams and ticket sales for upcoming performances. She appeared on other platforms shortly after, carefully steering conversations toward her artistry while gracefully sidestepping direct questions about the Kelly incident, reinforcing her image as poised under pressure. Kelly Clarkson, for her part, leaned into her show's reputation for realness, addressing the moment in a heartfelt segment where she emphasized learning from every experience and valuing honest exchanges even when they don't go smoothly. Viewership remained strong, as audiences appreciated her willingness to own the awkwardness without defensiveness. The two singers' paths, intertwined through music, television, and mutual acquaintances like Blake Shelton's circle, suggested future interactions would carry added layers of nuance. Industry observers noted that such public clashes, while initially damaging, often humanize stars and foster deeper connections with fans who relate to imperfection. Reconciliation rumors swirled, fueled by subtle likes on each other's posts and shared industry events where cordiality prevailed. The episode entered pop culture lexicon as a benchmark for dramatic talk show moments, referenced in comedy sketches and online discussions about celebrity etiquette. In a broader sense, it underscored evolving expectations in media. Viewers crave authenticity but also demand respect for personal limits, creating a delicate dance for hosts and guests alike. Both women emerged resilient, their legacies intact and perhaps even enhanced by demonstrating strength and vulnerability and conviction. The walk-off, once a shocking rupture, transformed into a pivotal chapter illustrating the complexities of fame, friendship, and frank dialogue in the spotlight. Looking ahead, the Gwen Stefani and Kelly Clarkson saga serves as a compelling case study in celebrity dynamics and the unpredictable nature of live television. What began as a promotional appearance evolved into a viral phenomenon that transcended entertainment gossip, sparking conversations about emotional intelligence, media boundaries, and the pressures on women in the public eye to remain composed at all times. Fans continued to speculate on underlying causes, from residual voice attentions to differing communication styles, but most agreed the moment felt genuine rather than staged. As time passed, both artists focused forward, Gwen on expanding her influence in fashion and music, Kelly on her hosting success and ongoing vocal projects. Their story reminds us that even icons face conflicts, and how they navigate fame, whether by walking away or extending olive branches, defines their character more than flawless appearances ever could. In the end, the heated dispute and dramatic exit became not just a headline, but a testament to the raw humanity behind the glamour, leaving audiences with a mix of shock, empathy, and anticipation for whatever comes next in their intertwined journeys.